Welcome, and thank you for joining me for another Coffee with Bridget. And today's coffee is Cold Stone Creamery's Birthday Cake Remix. And it's pretty yummy. I enjoy it. This is my good luck charm mug. Oh, I really need to repaint my fingernails. But yeah, so I have officially become a eBay and Facebook marketplace seller. And that's pretty much the biggest thing. I reached out to my attorney and said, can I start selling things? Like things from Christmas things that I inherited, um, even some furniture I inherited, mostly vintage toys, vintage video games that I have. So the first thing that sold was Alf. He has a little talk box, but I don't know if his talk box works or not. But Alf sold pretty fast. And then the next thing that sold was Teddy Ruxpin and Grubby, which Teddy Ruxpin has a little bit of tear on his leg. And then Grubby and Teddy don't work, but hey, at least they sold. And the third thing that sold was Xenogears, a video game that I had that I bought when I was a teenager. Xenogears was one of my favorite PlayStation 1 games. It was so cool. Xenogears was basically a RPG around people who went around fighting in big robots. So there was big robot battles, and it was a really fun and good story too. Really fun game. So I'm glad that it found a new home. I don't know who buys PlayStation 1 games, but it sold for quite a bit of money, $70. So that works. um yeah, so here I am selling away on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. It's the first time I've really used Facebook a lot in a long time. And there's other things that are selling too. I have a big blow mold Santa Claus that I'm selling. I heard some questionable things about it, so I put it for a really good price. So it should be picked up today. A person's coming to the house to actually pick it up. I'm doing that with all the blow molds. I have 7 blow mold decorations for Christmas. So all of those are going to be going. And then I'm going through the Christmas decorations, and there's a snow globe that's a music box that I'm selling. Another music box is teddy bears that plays We Wish You a Merry Christmas. I'm selling my Ariel collection from Disney because I'd rather keep my fairy collection than my Ariel collection. The kids are not into Ariel, and they're Disneyland figurines, Disneyland souvenirs that I got from the park when I was a kid, but they're just more things to dust. So I'm really purging a lot of stuff. I went through my entire closet, purged 5 bags worth of clothes. Some of it were clothes that I wore in high school that I just didn't want to let go of. Some of it I gave to my daughter Michelle because she's going to be able to wear it pretty soon. All the butterfly shirts that I had when I was a teenager. So that was kind of fun and exciting. Um, but yeah, it's been a lot of work. I listed all my books. I have like 100 listings of books, you know. Some of them really interesting, like my Diane Ho Nightmare Hall set, which starts at 2 and goes through 12, I think. So that is worth like a lot of money too. That's over $100 just there in those books because they're first prints. So I learned a lot about first prints and had a lot of first prints of different things like Forgotten Realms and Dragonlance and stuff like that. So I listed all of those. Um, yeah, I'm selling a lot of stuff, just a lot of variety. Um, Found Yogi Bear, who's worth about $40. Sold him. Um, yeah, it feels good to repurpose these things. A lot of these things have just been sitting around gathering dust on shelves, on top of dressers. There are things that I don't use. The kids are not interested. Although my daughter got really interested in Teddy Ruxpin. She's like, I want a Teddy Ruxpin now. And I was like, no, you know, uh, Yeah, the new ones I'm not really interested in. And, it's something that was always sitting on the shelf. It is nothing that we played with as kids because it was too expensive. My parents were like, don't play with that, leave it on the shelf. So, I mean, we never really played with Teddy or Grubby, which is a buddy. They're supposed to have a connecting cable. I don't have the connecting cable. Grubby doesn't even have a battery thing that closes his battery. But I listed them for a pretty low price and they sold pretty quickly. Person didn't even ask me if they worked, which is like, it's weird. For the price that it is, you'd think they would ask me if it worked. I think I put in the description that it doesn't work. But a lot of people use them for parts and, just want them. So, and maybe Teddy Ruxpin does work. I only put the batteries in once, so I could have put them inside upside down. Kids were with me and I was just in a hurry, so I'm a little flustered. So it's possible Teddy actually does work. I tried to turn him on. I was like, how do you turn this guy on? But his battery compartment's clean. It's not corroded. Same with Grubby. So I don't feel so bad selling those. But yeah, getting rid of old childhood nostalgia items it's a big thing. I feel like I've been holding on to all this stuff for years and years and years. I held on to the Barbies for the kids. I held on to, She-Ra toys for the kids. There's even like a original Ninja Turtles action figure somewhere in the kids' toys. Um, Held on to all of that just to, finally let it go. The Christmas decor boxes are the biggest one because I had like 12 boxes and I'm trying to get down to one or two. And that's hard, you know. A lot of it I we inherited from his grandma and or items that he bought that um or the ex bought that he liked. So I'm putting those in the thing for him to take. So a lot of separating out memories and, you know, thinking back to stuff that happened when we were married and, you know, some of the stuff like the huge blow molds, like the huge Santa blow mold that's, as tall as me. That thing has been around since my dad was decorating his house for Christmas. My dad used to go all out. He decorated so much that he actually ended up in the newspaper. They showed him putting up the Christmas lights, and people would come to our house and take pictures in front of our house because the Christmas lights were so extensive. And they would take pictures with Santa. Now, he did have a sleigh and reindeers, but the sleigh and reindeers fell apart, so that probably just trash. It was like a wire sleigh thing. I might try selling them. They're in where I can't get to them in the shed because the shed's locked. The ex locked up all of the lawn mowing tools and everything, so I had to hire a lawn mowing service to come in and mow the yard because I couldn't get to the tools. But that's a different story. That's just shenanigans of getting divorced. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. But things are getting done. I'm organizing, trying to whittle things down to a bare minimum for when I do move. Um, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a positive thing. I'm pretty sure. It feels good to let go of all of this stuff. It really does. And to just let it go out into the universe to where it's really meant to be. So that's where I'm at this week. Selling stuff on eBay and Facebook Marketplace and, going through old memories and cleaning house basically. It's been an interesting experience. I still have a lot to do and a lot to go, but as things sell and move out and everything, things will get better, I'm sure. So thank you so much for joining me for this Coffee with Bridget. I know I kind of rambled about selling stuff and what I was selling, but I hope you found it interesting. And it's been an interesting journey for me, that's for sure. So take care and bye for now.